Sports Betting Illuminated, where we play with a house, not against it. Hello, Thomas. It is so wonderful seeing you here early, posting your plays. I love it. Welcome in, and who's ready to win some wagers? I sure am. And by the way, for those of you who are new here, my name is Ariel Calista. I'm an author of Sports Betting Illuminated, an AI-powered path to profit. This is my book in bookstores everywhere. Feel free to check it out, read it, and really learn my strategy on just exactly how I've been able to obtain a 40+% ROI season after season across multiple sports leagues. Yeah, we have been bringing our ROI up and up and up this season. Let's go. Hello, Tech Science. Thank you. Hello, Brian. I am feeling festive. Absolutely. David, welcome in. Good morning. So before we get started, would you like to see this outfit of the day? I had to do something a little bit special because we are just days away from Christmas. Hey Derek, hey Superfro, hey Spencer, good morning. How are you all doing? All right. Well, here it is. Tyler, welcome in. Had to do a little Santa Claus thing. Woohoo! Of course, had to get festive for the holiday season, and this outfit was just too cute to not wear on air today. So, how's your morning going? Starting with some coffee, some cannabis. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you like the outfit. It is so cute. Literally one of my faves. One of my faves. I feel like Santa Claus. Except instead of going down people's chimneys and stuff, I'm just spreading cheer by sharing good bets, winning wagers. All right. Oh my god, that is too cute. Ari Claus. I love it. Oh yes. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying the outfit. This is a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and welcome in. All right, let's dive into just our current ROIs. So right now in the NBA, we are sitting at a 41.5% return. That has been a 74.2% win rate, and so far we've played 62 units so far this season. So we're doing great. This is definitely one of our highest ROIs right now, followed by college basketball. We've been doing really well in this whole basketball scene at this moment, and our ROI in college is sitting at 34.9% with a 70.2% win rate so far this season with 84 units played. Now in the NFL, we're still in the positive. We're almost right there. We're trying to battle out and get that 30% ROI. We've had a 63% win rate, and we're sitting with 54 units already played this football season. Hockey, we're sitting at 26.5% with a 60.8% win rate on 51 units played so far. So far, so good. Positives across the board. And you know what? We're just going to keep bringing these ROIs up further and further. Yeah. So you might be wondering, what am I smoking today? Top Shelf Elf. Yes, it's a very festive name. I believe it's from California, and it's just supposed to make you feel good, happy, feel the vibes of the holiday season, cheer you out if you're stressed around the holidays. I know a lot of people's family, with all the family and all the people together, it sometimes turns into a stressful moment, so I guess smoking a little bit of this Top Shelf Elf will help out with that. It's good. Kind of candy tasting. I like it. You know what? know what is up with these Christmas strains, but they always get to me. Wow. Okay. You know, I have seen a lot of movement so far this morning, which is why I'm really excited. We have a full slate of games that we're looking at. A lot of potential, good plays to wager on. And so far, I mean, yeah, I think if these lines hold up, I think we're going to do really well today. But things are changing fast, so we want to make sure these lines are holding up, especially later on in the day, like as we're placing our wagers, maybe coming back to that game that we're looking at here on the Sports Betting Illuminated show, and then, revisiting it, just making sure nothing fell apart. That is just, good sports betting, I don't know, hygiene maybe, just making sure the lines aren't falling apart and, really tracking it throughout the day. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you like that Substack. And please, everyone, if you're not following me on Substack, please make sure to do so. Just go to arielcalista.substack.com. It's so easy to follow me there. And we've been writing some really interesting articles. A lot of you guys might not have known me all the way back then, when Gronk was doing his, kick, but I was starting to do TikTok right around that time, and there are definitely some videos, probably not still out there, they probably only exist on my phone, but there are definitely some videos before my account got banned for like the umpteenth time on TikTok. They love to do that, so I eventually just decided, screw it, I'm getting off. But so I was starting to do that, like learning how to kick a field goal with both legs. And it was something I was recording, I was practicing, I was trying to show the world, like, you could do this. I'm gonna learn how to do this, even though I've never played soccer, I never did any of that. I wanted to, but I just never did it growing up. Thanks, Thomas. Oh, wow. Okay. Lots of questions going on. Let's just dive right on into the NFL. And let's start talking about this game. Oh my gosh. How do you guys wanna know about this? Like, is this a bounce back? Are they gonna bounce back today? This is one of those games where I haven't seen a lot of movement early, but you know what? Let's just take a look again and just see if anything has changed. I didn't see a lot early, but you never know. Things have been moving so fast this morning. That's the one thing I've seen, like, a lot. Okay, so I see most spots are holding this line at -7, -7.5 in a lot of spots. It opened up at -7, -105. So, I don't really see too much movement here. The money's looking pretty evenly split. So I would just be a little bit careful here. I think Vegas is doing a really good job right now of just kind of holding this number, because they opened this line up exactly where it's sitting right now. I would, of course, love to see a little bit of movement here, but just because the money is so evenly split and Vegas is holding this line so tight, I can't really say they're taking a position. I haven't identified a spot in this game, where the house is taking a stand, on the Lions or not. They seem to be pretty comfortable with that number at this moment, but anything can change, so just keep that in the back of your minds. All right. Lots of games you guys are looking at today. Wow. All right. Where do we start? There is one play that I really, really, really like today. And I want to go over that real quick, and then we're going to bounce around, look at some of these other games. and really try to find some solid plays here. Now, I've been looking at this Jets-Saints game. This is a 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern game, and I would say this is my top play in football today, is the Saints spread. It opened up at -4.5, went to -6.5, so that was a pretty solid, significant line movement, and it was also backed by some pros on New Orleans. You know, I'm seeing that real, like, strong pro money showing up here, and seeing that big line movement. I like that. I like when the house and the money are moving in the same direction. So I would say this is probably my most solid play on the board today. And you know, I just think the line, the money, it's all there. It's all there. So I think it's going to be a good day for the Saints, just looking at this line. Now, I see you guys talking about this Ravens game. Maybe we should dive into that one a little bit. This was also one of those games where I just didn't see a lot, you know, going on early. But like I said, things are changing fast. Anything can happen. All right, so just looking at some of the numbers here. Right now, the Ravens are sitting at, in most spots, -3, -3.5. They opened up at -2.5. So, I mean, it does look like it's starting to go in the right direction for them. I mean, something I might keep my eye on, but the thing is there's just so much money on the Patriots right now, but the money is looking a little Joe, whereas, like, on the Ravens, it's looking a little pro. But I don't know, it's very lopsided at this moment. At this moment, I just don't have a play in this game. Yeah, it's just lots of lopsided money, even though it is like a little bit more pro on the Ravens, and even though, you know, it is starting to move in the right direction on the spread for them, I would say I'm just not feeling super confident about this. Yeah, this is, yeah, I see you guys saying this is a trap. You know what? I mean, I do think this is a little bit, it's a little bit scary to bet on at this moment. Like, not my favorite play on the board. Am I still on the Bengals? You know what? Right now I put this in my action play pile. You know, the money was looking really pro. We saw early on in the week, you know, they were originally underdogs, quickly flipped to favorites. This line just pushed all the way out from +1.5 where it opened up, all the way to -1.5, and -4 to -4.5. So this line has been steady. You know, the sportsbook has been moving this, you know, steadily in the right direction for them. The money is looking pretty pro, but right now it just seems like a little bit of this pro money has started dissipating and the money is a little bit more mixed. And I think Vegas is pretty happy with this number, like, you know, getting the mixed money. They might just hold this line here. I would say if you got this early, that's great, you know, but I would say right now I might put this more into the action play pile. So for you action players out there, it's still something I'm looking at. I am not off this play at this moment, but, you know, just seeing the money start to turn from like pro to mixed money, you know, it doesn't make it my favorite play on the board today. You know, well, but it's still good, you know, it's still solid, and I still like it. And like I said, my favorite play today is the Saints spread. That's my favorite play. Thanks so much, Super Pro. So glad you're enjoying the outfit. Yeah, just wanted to let all of you know, there is not going to be a Christmas live stream. It is The 25th is the Thursday. That's typically when our show is. But for obvious reasons, it's a holiday. I'm sure all of you are going to be spending time with your friends, family, loved ones, pets, just having some holiday cheer. And I will still put out the daily report. So if you are missing me and, you know, even just want to say hi, feel free to reply back to any one of my free daily emails. And the daily report goes out 365 days a year. Like, I've never missed a day. It's gone out for over 800 days. And you could sign up, get it for free just by going to arielcalista.com and clicking on the button that says stay in touch. It's free. It's easy to sign up. And I would love all of you to just sign up, tell your friends, tell your family about it, you know, get them involved, because even if they don't do sports betting, I think like the health corner, you know, even a coaching corner, a lot of this has some really important information about, you know, what's going on in like the gaming world and gambling, or what's going on in health, you know, and I'm talking about some new things like cannabis, psychedelics, things that we hear about all the time in the news but don't really do deep dives into. And I like to do those deep dives, back it up with the real research and science, and yeah, I think the daily report's great for everyone. So spread a little holiday cheer, tell your friends, tell your family. I have share buttons in every single report, so it's super easy to just tell them where to sign up. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this outfit. Yeah, that was a fun game to watch last night. I was up watching it and wow, you did not know what was going to happen. You know, but I've been saying a lot this season. The game's not over until it is over. So if you think like halfway through, oh, this is like a sure thing for this team or for that team, man, you gotta watch it till the end. Seriously, that was crazy. Plus, I know some people had some good fantasy plays on like DJ, and those were hitting. So I'm like, you know what? I'm so happy for all of you. Like, let's go, let's crush it this season. Good vibes all around there. Okay, so we are going to roll. You know, we are going to talk about a few more plays that are happening in the NFL, and then we're going to roll right into the 2-minute drill, which is a little bit different today. It's about psychedelics, not about sports betting, but this is important information, and I'm excited for you guys to hear about it. Also, just one more thing I've been watching today. You know, I have had my eye on some totals, so just letting you know how these are going. Not that I have a play here at this moment, but I've just been keeping track of them, and you know, a few of them have been bouncing around a little bit. For example, this Jags Broncos game, you know, this total went from 44.5 all the way up to 47, dropped a half a point, went back up to 47.5. Now it's just sitting there on mixed money. I think if some money develops and maybe pushes this line further, I think this could be an interesting play, but at this moment, yeah, too much bouncing around for me. The Falcons Cardinals total, this went from 45.5 to 48.5, so this has risen like a lot, but it's all on mixed money, and you know, I'd still just keep my eye on this before I made this into like a definite play. But just understanding what the sports books are doing here, it seems like both of these totals are climbing higher, so something to just kind of keep in the back of your mind as you're watching these games today, to understand the sports book's behavior versus like the opening line versus where it's sitting at right now, and what they seem to be thinking about we do need a lot of Christmas tree movies. Oh, what is my opinion on this game? Atlanta, Arizona. Yeah, I think this one is going over. I mean, but I'm not gonna put it in the action pile yet, just because this has been a straight sports book move. Like, they have been adjusting this line And they haven't really been adjusting it on any sharp action. So I would say just, watch it, but I do think it's going to be leaning towards the over, like ultimately in the end. That's my opinion. Just seeing the line, starting there, going all the way up, but there isn't any sharp money. So, it might just be a correction by the sports book, because they are constantly getting new information, readjusting their models, and just like recalculating everything throughout the week. So just be careful with this one. All right, we are going to roll into the 2-minute drill. Then we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards, but I think you guys will be interested in seeing some of these studies, really learning a little bit more about like psychedelics. It's out there, it's a buzzword that people are talking about a lot, especially like in the news and the media. But understanding the science behind it is incredibly important. If you don't understand the science, then it's hard to understand, like, why are governments out there throughout the world, trying to push more into research in these areas, and are there even any benefits? So the science helps illuminate all of that. Just another quick little view of my Christmas look, and now we are going to roll into the 2-minute drill, and stay with me. Feel free to message in the chat if you have any questions. I'll be in the chat, and then we'll talk about it right afterwards. For a long time, people assume that if something changes in your brain for the long term, it has to physically rebuild it, grow new connections, add new wiring, or structurally reshape neural pathways. But a recent neuroscience study suggests psychedelics may work in a very different and arguably more interesting way. In this study, researchers found that a single psychedelic treatment was enough to create long-lasting changes in behavior and brain activity. Not because the brain grew new parts, but because it learned to function differently. In scientific terms, the change came from functional plasticity, not structural plasticity. And here's the simple version. Structural plasticity is like renovating a house, knocking down walls, or adding rooms. Functional plasticity is more like changing how you use the rooms that you already have in your house. Same house, new habits. After just one psychedelic exposure, researchers observed behavioral shifts that lasted long after the substance had left their subject systems. On a cellular level, their brains were responding and communicating differently, even though the underlying structure looked largely the same. This wasn't a short-lived after effect. It was a durable change in how the brain operated. And why does this matter? Because many mental health challenges, such as depression, anxiety, PTSD, addiction, all of these are increasingly understood as problems of rigidity. The brain gets stuck running the same loops, the same thoughts, the same emotional reactions, the same stress responses. Psychedelics may help by loosening those patterns and allowing the brain to settle into healthier ones. What's especially striking is that this happened after just one treatment. That challenges the idea that benefit requires constant dosing or long-term medication. Instead, psychedelics may act more like a reset or a recalibration, an experience that nudges the brain into a new mode and just lets it stay there. It also helps explain why people often describe psychedelic experiences as insightful or perspective shifting. The experience itself matters, but the lasting impact seems to come from how the brain continues to function afterwards. This study adds to a growing body of research suggesting that psychedelics aren't about escape or hallucination. They're about learning. And one experience, under the right conditions, may be enough to help the brain practice a new way of operating. I hope you guys enjoyed that 2-minute drill. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. But I just wanted to talk about psychedelics a little bit, because a lot of people know them through mushrooms, but they really do promote like immersive, introspective, and different kinds of experiences that really do alter your day-to-day state, and it does act upon your serotonin receptors primarily. I've experienced with the experimented with these products, for example, Happy Mind, and I will be selling them in my store. But they come in all different types of products as well. So like these are just 1 milligram per tablet. So they're very low dose, something that you could take. It's just kind of like in the background for your day. A lot of people have tried these. Some people take them like every day because it helps with their ADHD, things like that. And then you kind of just have to find the right dose for you. So like this is like a 10 milligram tablet, so it's a little more potent. You might have a little bit of visual distortion like as you're taking it, but if you just take it responsibly and you're not operating heavy machinery, pregnant, nursing, etc., or underage, and you take it responsibly, like in a controlled, calm, and good environment, especially with people around you who maybe experienced with psychedelics before, or just people that you trust in general, you can make it a really good kind of vibe that just kind of breaks up the day-to-day, and also creates these new pathways in your brain to, truly benefit you, and help your brain health, help how you think, for all of these studies, you saw them all there on the screen, but there's so many studies coming out, and new ones coming out every day that just show how it helps people. So if you are interested in these kinds of products, let's see, I have these, feel free to let me know. Yeah, and I'm happy to send them to you. These are legal. So these are 4-HODET, and are actually legal to sell within the US, within smoke shops. They're actually very popular. So psilocin, which is the active component, and like psilocybin is 4-HODMT. So it is, it's very similar to like delta 8 versus delta 9, and it's just like the difference of, when you make delta 8 or versus delta 9, it's structurally, molecularly the difference of one, double carbon bond, and this is just the same. It's a very similar thing, like you're just altering it a little bit to have 4-HODET, which is a very safe and more precise, and I would say like almost cleaner psychedelic versus having a lot of these like stomach flipping and negative effects that you would get with taking mushrooms. So yeah, I'm glad you use 4-HODET most days, microdosing. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and you know what? I think it's fun to try, and just sometimes doing a little dose, so it's not like messing up your day. You just kind of have to start small and then kind of work your way up if you choose to, or you could just kind of stay where you're at. And I think that's the fun thing about it, is like it's all very much like dosed precisely. So there's no question about like how much you're taking, versus with mushrooms or something you get off like the black market. You don't, it doesn't have the testing, it doesn't come from a lab, it doesn't come from like a GMP certified facility, whereas this does. And yeah, feel free to write me if you have any questions. I'd love to share with you guys. Oh, you're gonna start working out on it. That's interesting. You know what? Let me know how it goes. I would love to hear your testimony, and yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, you know what? I've heard a lot of people saying, how this has really helped them get off of ADHD medicine, or even, you know, people who say, like, you know, my spouse and I just kept fighting and fighting and fighting every day, and, you know, then we started taking a psychedelic on vacation together, and it was great. So all kinds of experiences. I think what's most important is, like, you know, being open to it, and, you know, wanting to try something new, and being in a good, safe, comfortable environment. And using it responsibly, of course. All right, so let's talk about college basketball. Things are moving fast, they can change. So we are just gonna keep our eyes on a lot of these, but this is coming up in just 30 minutes from now. Colgate versus Florida. This is a 12 o'clock game. Like I said, just 30 minutes from now, and I'm looking at Colgate as an underdog, and I'm looking at this spread. It opened up at plus 30, went to plus 27.5 on level 2 pro money. So I like seeing that. It's going in the right direction for them. The money is here on this spread, and it's looking very, very pro. So sharp money. Thank you. So I like this. The loss of pro money here. I think this is going to be a solid, a solid underdog spread to take. It's looking really sharp. And, you know, we've been doing pretty well with these plays, especially when the spread is so big like this. And it's currently sitting at 27.5. And a lot of pros are in here, so I would jump in early, take this, especially because it's playing in just a half an hour. Yeah, I mean, lots of money, but things can change right now, so we're just gonna keep our eye on this. This is an interesting game coming up. Stony Brook versus Marist. This is a 1 o'clock game, and I've been keeping my eye on the total here. It opened up at 135.5, rose to 138.5. There's level 1 money on it. I would say this is looking like a solid over play. So yeah, I'm liking the over in a Stony Brook Marist game. I mean, lots of money. The line is moving in the right direction. All signals are pointing to this is a solid play. I like it. I like it a lot. Then moving on to New Hampshire versus St. Louis. This is a 3 o'clock college basketball game, and this is another over that I'm looking at. So I know you guys like playing overs. Let's definitely have a few overplays here. So this opened up at 149.5, went all the way up to 156.5 on level 1 money. That is a huge increase on the total, but it's also backed by some solid money. So even though I was seeing some overs starting to develop in the NFL earlier, they were not backed by almost any money. Like, not really a lot at all. Like, I wouldn't even consider it level 1 money. But here, level 1 money, it is looking solid, and I have another over for you too. Cincinnati versus Clemson. This opened up at 137.5, went all the way up to 141.5. There is level 4 money backing this up, so all the sharps are in on this over, and the sports books agree. They are taking this Clemson over here as well. Cincinnati versus Clemson. This game total over is looking very solid. I like it. Yeah, You know, I've been doing really well with these double-digit dogs. That's what I find lately. Like, you see it in the daily report. The evidence is there. You know, I talk about all the games that I play every single day. And you know what? They are solid. They are solid. Now, let's talk about East Texas A&M versus Texas A&M. Now, this is actually where I'm looking at the favorite, Texas A&M, and I like this spread. It opened up at minus 26.5, went out to minus 28.5 on level 1 pro money. So this is looking solid, especially with all the pros backing this up. Even though I don't usually like to take such a big spread, I think this is going to be okay here in this spot. And I like it. I like it. Yeah, so another solid play. Just remember, everyone, as we're looking at all these plays, there's a lot of money moving around on the board. And yeah, I mean, a lot of money. So just keep your eye on it. And I would say right now, those are the ones I have really liked really early on. So let's just make sure they don't fall apart. But as of right now, they're looking solid. All right, moving on to the NBA. Lots of basketball today. Alrighty. So, I've been keeping my eye just on this Raptors Nets total, but it's odd. It kind of scares me a little bit. It opened up at 220.5, dropped to 216.5. So the sportsbook is saying this is going under, but there's level 2 money on the over. So with the money and the sportsbook going in opposite directions here, not my favorite play on the board in the NBA. So I don't like that. Oh, Victor, it's okay. I'm going to be going over all my picks here at the end in just a few minutes. So it is, yeah, we usually end the show around 12 o'clock, sometimes a little bit earlier. But right now we're just talking about the NBA, and then I'll go back over NFL and college basketball, which we already covered. Alrighty. So another total that, I'm just keeping my eye on, but I don't have locked in at this moment. I would say anything can happen. This is a 10 o'clock game. It's just this Rockets Kings. It opened up at 229.5, went to 223.5. There's level 2 money on the over. So it's going in the right direction, but it's so early. Let's just wait on this game. I'm not even putting this into my action pile yet. But there is one solid play in the NBA that I really like, and this over I think you'll like as well. The Bucks Timberwolves over. This opened up at 222.5 and went up to 226.5 with level 2 money on the over. So it's all going in the right direction here. The money is there. The sportsbook is moving in the right direction. So I would say, I like this play. I do. It's looking solid. And that is really my one solid play that I like in the NBA. Out of everything on the slate, if there are any other games you want me to analyze, feel free to write them in the chat. You know what to do. But I would say as of right now, that's the one that's looking the most solid. I like this over. Alrighty, we even have some plays in hockey, and of course I would love for our resident hockey experts to come in with any picks, props, or anything that you might have. Feel free to throw it in the chat. I would love to see it, read about it, and break it down live on air. Alright, so let's just go over some of the picks that I'm looking at in hockey, and I will keep my eyes on the chat just in case anyone wants to throw anything in, anything at all. Alrighty, so let's look at Ottawa versus Boston. This is a 7 o'clock game, and this is another over that I've been watching. I know I'm watching a lot of totals today. But let's be so real. It's where the money is, and it's where the sports books are moving these lines right now. So this total opened over 5.5, minus 115, went to minus 134. But you know what's really interesting about this one? There is level 5 money on this over. So you know what I'm going to say about this, especially because it's the minus 134, and I don't really like taking the minus 134s. I want to get some plus money plays in there, right? So I would say ladder this one. I would feel comfortable laddering it. Hey, thanks so much, Tony. I'll show you guys my outfit some more in just a few. I like this hockey pick though. I think you could ladder this, find some plus money here. I don't know what over 6 is sitting at right now in the Senators Bruins game, but take a look at it. You know, let me know in the chat if you see some plus money. And where it's sitting at right now, but level 5 money on the over is super strong. The sportsbook is moving this line in the right direction, so this is something to pay attention to. I'm so glad you guys are all loving this outfit. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, now one more over that I really like as well in hockey, and yes, I am pulling out all the ladders. I feel like I need a ladder. Wait. Maybe Santa uses like a ladder to climb up like into the chimneys, and that's me today, like climbing up the ladder. Like and then woo! Just kidding, but kind of. Yes, I am pulling out the ladder for this other over, and that is in the Rangers Predators game. This is a 7 o'clock game, and it's total open 5.5, minus 118. But the sports books moved this, and so did the money. It is now sitting over 6, minus 115 on level 2 money. I like it a lot. This is, like I said, another ladder spot. So, I would say looking like a good spot to ladder. 2 ladder spots in hockey tonight. I hope you guys can find some plus money, you know, find some good plus money plays for the holidays, but don't go too crazy. I mean, I see these people playing every day, you know, you open up the sports general feed of the world and it's always like, here's my plus 10,000 million parlay. Oh boy. So don't go too crazy, but if you could ladder these a little bit, find some good plus money, or at least so you're not taking like a minus 134 or minus 115. Great, right? all the better. So let me just go over all of my plays for today. Whew, that was a full slate. Full slate. All right. Starting in the NFL for today. This is, you know, this was looking a little more just like a solid play, but I did move it into the action play pile at this moment just because the money is sitting really mixed at this moment. But it is the Bengals spread that I'm looking at, and I haven't taken it out of the action play pile, so it's still looking like a solid play for you action players out there. I know, Super James. Oh my god, can you say VIP parking spot of the week coming through on the show last time, calling that overtime play for what, plus 1350 and nailing it? So amazing. I love that. That's great. I feel like there's been a lot of overtime though, like this year. I'm like, maybe I'm feeling a little biased. I'm gonna do some like real deep dive like analysis on this and see if there's more this year versus other years. That could be a nice little Substack. You guys know I love diving into the numbers, breaking into the code, like all of that on my Substack. So if you really want those, you know, fun articles, but you know, they are a little more, I don't really know what to say. They're a little more technical. Feel free to read them on my Substack, arielcalista.substack.com. I would love to see more people follow me over there. It's a lot of good writing, connecting with a lot of good sports, you know, betting writers in the community. And it's just such a supportive community, really, really is. All right, so the play that I really like today in the NFL is the Saints spread. Sitting at minus 6.5, there's some solid pro money on it, and I still like this. Definitely my favorite play in the NFL today. college basketball, I'm looking at this Colgate spread. We've been killing with these double-digit underdogs, so, you know, we're just gonna bring it back again. Taking Colgate, taking the spread against Florida. Then I'm looking at the over in Stony Brook versus Marist. This is looking like a solid overplay, backed by some money, backed by some line movements. Looking at another overplay in New Hampshire versus St. Louis. Lots of overplays today, and I know you're gonna love this if you're an overplayer. An over in Cincinnati versus Clemson. That's a 3 o'clock game, so over is still really solid there. Okay, you're taking Cincy. I like it, and I'm taking the over. And then I'm looking at Texas A&M. Now, I do like them as a favorite, and I do like this spread sitting at minus 28.5. It's backed by some pro money, but I've seen this line go in the right direction. The pros are all on it, and I would say it's looking like a good day for Texas A&M. In the NBA, another over, the Bucks versus Timberwolves. Yeah, super solid right now. And finally, in hockey, I'm pulling out the ladders. I like this over in the Senators Bruins game, and I also like the over in this Rangers Predators game. Both of them, like I said, you can ladder. So yeah, just push it out, you know, be reasonable with it, don't go too crazy. But you could bring a little ladder, just like a little step stool, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not like the full ladder to the roof, but definitely a step stool. All right, so I did want to talk about something interesting. I know prediction markets are all the buzz right now, and I really just want to talk about some red balloons, Frederick Hayek, the wisdom of crowds, and also just really like focusing in on dispersed information, or basically like how information is very much asymmetrical. So Frederick Hayek's core insight was that knowledge is inherently dispersed. So no individual, no institution has really ever had all of the relevant information. And then, of course, DARPA actually really confirmed this, like in this red balloon challenge. This was basically, they put all these red balloons across the country. They had a big cash prize of, you know, and people are building these complicated computer programs. People are, you know, trying to, you know, there's teams from MIT, teams from all over the country, you know, trying to compete to find these red balloons. And this was an experiment that DARPA did. And it was actually, you know, the team that won was because they were able to, you know, take, you know, all this information from various people across the country and, you know, leverage all of these people coming together with their own pieces of information to find all of the red balloons. So it was just a decentralized network of individuals that were able to find all the red balloons. And they were able to solve this problem very quickly. Now, how does this apply to prediction markets? Prediction markets, they operate on this principle all the time. It's demonstrated in real time because new information is always coming in, new live feeds of whatever is going on in the world, you know, whether it's in politics or whether it's in sports betting. All of this is going into the market to be negotiated, priced out in real time, and they really go beyond just like the wisdom of the crowds because there's information via social media and like even sensors like RFID sensors, satellite data, all of this. And of course, like algorithms are, you know, running a big part of this, a big backbone of this. So the prices aren't just reflecting information, they're, basically computing the information, showing, more accurately like what the actual price is of something versus like expert panels or institutions. And the result is coordination and not chaos. It surfaces what people actually believe and not just what they say publicly. So it is interesting because, prediction markets really show you what's going on before the big public narratives start catching up and, people start creating a story around it, and all of that. So that's why I think prediction markets are really interesting. I would say one of the downsides of prediction markets right now is that they're still really new, and they don't have all the capital and liquidity that they need to be like the most efficient they can be at this moment. So there still are some inefficiencies, but in a truly like decentralized prediction market where, let's say it was like very well funded by a lot of these, players, institutional players, all of that, I think things would be a lot more stable, and very indicative of like where reality is. So just wanted to let you guys know what I'm thinking of these prediction markets. I'm excited to see the future of, how they shape and formulate and where they go, because, it's really no secret that the poly market is basically getting positioned to just take off and shoot to the moon right now. So, and it's not getting stopped. Like nobody is putting constraints on it. So it's something to watch out for, and it's something to pay attention to. Oh, cool. And nice. Quantum computer companies. You know what? I have seen a lot of people out there making different quantum computer chips, and it's interesting. It's a lot. I mean, how they do a lot of this stuff is, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit beyond me, but it is really interesting to learn about and dive into more. And I think with a lot of these prediction markets, it's fun because you get to look at a whole range of things, whether you want to look at quantum computer chips and bet on the success or failure of this company versus another, or sports teams. So I like the variety, and in my opinion, I'm like, you know what, I like it. It's fun. All right, everyone. Well, this was such a fun live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed my little Santa outfit. And of course, as you guys know, in my next live stream, my Thursday night live stream is not going to be happening because it is Christmas. Woo! Yeah, so I will be wearing this outfit all Christmas long. No, I'm just kidding. But I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe and happy holiday with your friends and family. And I hope you guys stay healthy while you're doing that. And just, have a relaxing time, take a break from the work and the stress, and, maybe you're gonna go out there, have a good time, go out, party on Christmas, or go to your friend's house. I used to always go to my neighbor's house growing up. I love that, next door, would walk across the street, go to my neighbor's house, eat some lobster for Christmas. It's my favorite. Well, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Stay safe out there, and good luck on all of your wagers. No show Thursday, but we will be back next Sunday. So in exactly 7 days from now, we'll be back Sunday morning. No show Thursday, just Sunday morning. I will be back with you. That is the 28th of December. And we will be diving into some more games, winning some more wagers. Make sure to tell your friends and family about this live stream, Sports Betting Illuminated, because the more we're winning together, the more we're merrier. I don't know. Spread the wins, so share the joy, share the wins this season. Tell them about Sports Betting Illuminated. Tell them to sign up for my free daily emails. They're free. No spam, no ads, no BS. It just goes out, me every single day. My sports analysis, sports news, picks of the day, pictures of me every day, so much more. And of course, make sure to like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and good luck on all your wagers, everyone! I will see you all next week!